All right, we are cutting this down. I'm going to cut 4 or 5 down, maybe a little bit more, 12 inches, because I really want to get my height established. All right, this is a little too long. I'm going to cut this down a little more. All right, now you see, now imagine if it's on a door and it's that high, that's a perfect height. Okay, I know my hanger, usually I'm doing wreaths or swags on this hanger, and I'm not doing a basket. If I was working actually on the door, I would drop it down a little bit. But I am right here, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to get started. We're going to put a little bit of glue on it. And I am going to start in the back. Okay. I'm going to bring some over here to the side. Okay, now you also need to remember that as I'm establishing my form, I also want to make sure I have an outline of which way and how I want my florals to go. All right, so this is the tip. It's going to drop down. So this one is going to be inserted a little bit lower than the actual top one. In fact, let me take that down just a little bit more. There we go. What we do to one side, we do to the other. I'm going to come over here, put some in here. Don't you just love forsythias? To me, it's almost like the first reminder of spring. When I start seeing that, I know it's spring. Okay, I'm going to continue to drop down a little bit. Again, I am doing an outer form. Once I get my form established, then I can go in and fill in. See how I'm dropping it down? All this is going in the back. I am inserting it in the back as I go. Okay? This looks good. Now what I'm going to do is, now that I have my form, my shape basically built from the back, I'm going to come in and I'm going to start filling in between each one that I have put in the back. Okay? I'm going to come in and start inserting right in between the ones that I have already put in. And they're going to come a little forward. Good, good, good. I'm glad, Alice. Okay. These little ones that I have cut off right here, I will come in and put them in as I get closer to the edge. So I have another one. Now, as I'm cutting down, I'm cutting all of it off, and then I'll go in and trim it down. Okay, and from here, I can begin to trim down. Now, I'm going to trim the top part down to about right here, but that doesn't necessarily mean I can't use this. So I'm cutting it into 2 pieces. See, that's going to be perfect. That's going to be a perfect size for the next layer. All right, let's keep going. again, I'm coming in the middle. Not in the middle, in between. I'm coming in between my first layer right here. Come right here. These stems are thick enough to where I don't need a still pick or a floral pick. If you purchase it and you do need a still pick or floral pick, that's perfectly fine. I need something right here, right? But it needs to be longer than what I had cut down. So I'm going to put something right here. You can bend these a little bit. Now, I want you to understand, let me bring it closer to you. Hang on. I want you to understand that as you can see, I have 2 layers already coming forward, and I want you to look at the shape that I am beginning to build right here. Once I get my shape established, which is what I'm doing, then I can go in and fill in. But it's important in floral design that you get a shape started. And it's kind of like an outline. And once you get that outline going, once you have your outline, then you can design very quickly. So right here, I need another one right here. But I am filling it out, right? So when you're putting something on the edge or the outer edge, as opposed to coming up top, naturally you're going to cut it. It's going to be a smaller stem, right? So I don't need one that's really long. I'm scaling down, and so I need a smaller stem to begin to go in. Now, I'm going to cut off the branch or the stem that I reduced it on. Okay? Let's keep going. All right. Now, I have my back layer or my back row. Now I have my middle row. Now I need to come in here and start filling in right here. Okay? And all this right here is going to be shorter. I'm cutting it shorter. See, I didn't cut it very long. Okay, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to start filling it in. Cut this down a little bit more. I'm coming in between the middle layer that I already put in. Oh, you're welcome, honey. You're welcome. Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad you're here. We're going to keep going. And put some right here. Now, you might think to yourself, oh no, I got to get all this part right here filled out before I can move on. That's not necessarily the case. If you'd like doing that, you can. The more or a better way to help you create a design that's, you know, very well evenly distributed is, like I said, get your outline going first. Okay, I'm going to come right in here. I'm going to put some right here. I have another section right here, but I want a little bit longer one. We're going to put some right there. I'm going to need a still pick on this. And a still pick is nothing but a shiny pick that you put on the end of a stem to help go through stuff, as well as it gives you length. If you need a little bit more length to a stem, you can put a still pick on it. The other thing that you can use is a wooden floral pick, and they work really well also. We'll put this one right here. Now I'm going to start coming in and I'm going to fill in right here. Now the thing that I want to do is I want this to look very natural, right? I don't want it to look crammed packed, but I want it to look very natural. And I want my balloons to be kind of falling over. So I'm going to bend this just a little bit and I'm going to stick it in. You're welcome, honey. You're welcome. I'm going to start bending this over. These are the little teeny pieces that I cut off. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to start filling this in. Now, as you can see, I very quickly have begun to fill in my basket, right? And what I have done to do it very quickly is I have just made layers, right? I made the back row, the middle row, the front row, and now I'm coming in and I'm filling in the bottom or the absolute front portion of the basket. And it appears as if it does. I love my designs to appear as if they are spilling out of things, right? So we're going to make this look like that some of this Forsythia is spilling out, right? I want it coming forward. Here, I'll show you. See right here how it appears as if it's spilling over onto my basket. I like that a whole lot. These are very easy to make. And what a refreshing pop of color to go on someone's door, right? All right. So now what I want to do is I want to go back in and fill in some holes. And holes are simply areas that you do not see any color, right? For example, right here is a hole. So I'm going to get a couple longer pieces. And I am going to fill in this hole right here, right? I have a hole right here. I'm going to fill it in. There we go. See how it filled up that hole right there? I'm going to put another one right here. I have a hole right here, and I'm going to come right in here, and I'm going to stick one right in here. Okay. Let me bend it back right. All right, there we go. Just like that. I want to fill in some right here, and I want to fill in some over here as well. I'm going to fill in some right here. I'll put some in right here. There we go. See how I'm filling in those holes right there that were established? Now, I don't know whether you can see it or not. Let me see if I can bring it forward so you can see it. I have a hole right here. Right here. I need to fill in right here. And that's what you do. You just go in and fill in areas at this point because I already have my shape established. I want some falling right here. I want to fill in right here on this side. Okay. Put a little bit more in here. I am cutting that right there, that little stem where I cut things. I'm cutting that off. What I'm doing is I'm sticking it down in and then I'm bending it over. Just bending it down. Right? Wow, that is so pretty. So very pretty. Let me bring it to you and see what you think. See that right there? Now I'm not finished with it, and I'm okay with this falling over. I want it to appear to be natural, much more natural looking than if I just stuck a whole bunch of straight sticks of Forsythia in there, right? So the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to make a really simple bow. I have some really pretty, thank you, Alice, thank you. I have some really pretty green and white check. And I'm just honestly going to make a very simple bow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a tail about 14 inches long. I always tend to believe more is better than less. So I made a long tail. I'm going to pinch and gather my ribbon together. Right? I've pinched it and gathered it. And we're going to see what a 6-inch loop looks like. Let's just look at it and see. Oh yeah, very pretty. So this size loop is 6 inches. If you are making it by hand and you measure your ribbon out, you would measure 12 inches on your mat. If you're using an easy bow maker or a bow tool that helps you make tools, you're gonna want to measure out 6 inches. The easy bow maker is the one that everybody seems to use, at least everybody that I do. I mean, or I know. The easy bow makers are amazing, right? So I have this bow right here. I'm going to come up here. I'm going more for a simple, natural look. That's why my bow is not, I don't have multi-bows. That's why I chose a 1.5 inch ribbon. I just want something very simple right here. So I've got 2 loops. Let me see what 3 looks like. Do I want 3? Choices, 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 right? Let's see what 3 looks like. Oh yeah, love the 3. So I've got 3 loops that I've made. I'm just going to cut this down right? I'm at the end of this roll anyway. I am going to take a flourished wire. I use 22 gauge. I'm going to turn my hand over and I'm going to wrap this flourished wire around it, and I am going to pull tightly. I have not let go of my bow yet, right? So I'm pulling my wire away from me. I'm pulling my loops towards me at the same time. And what that does is it gives you tension. It gives you tension to where it makes your bow loops stand up. I am twisting the bow, not twisting the wire, and I'm going to twist out maybe 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Hello, Diana. How are you, honey? Hope you're good. I'm going to twist out about, yeah, it's about 1.5 inches, right? To where I have that right there. See that right there? You might not be able to see it, but I'm going to take a wooden florist pick. I'm going to wrap my wire that I made my bow with around this florist pick, and I'm going to show you why. I'm just going to take that wire that's on that florist pick and I'm wrapping it around the wire, right? Just like that right there. I'm doing good, sweetie. The good Lord is good to us, isn't He? Every day is another day He has given us, and it is nothing more than to be celebratory about. So yes, I'm doing good. I'm glad you are too. Now I'm just taking my florist tape. I'm wrapping it around. You don't have to. This is just a professional touch. It helps keep the wire from sticking out. And this is what we have, right? And this is what the florist pick looks like, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on it, and I'm going to stick this florist pick down in to my styrofoam. We're going to put a little hot glue on it. And I am just going to stick it right down in the florist foam. And then I'm going to get my loops where I'd like them to go. Okay, just like that. That's what we have. Let me dovetail these. I really personally like my ribbon to curl. I love it. It gives the ribbon movement. And that's what we have, right? So the last thing I want to do is I want to throw a little teeny tiny bit of greenery in just to break that yellow up and give my viewer of the design a little bit more interest to look at. So I have some maidenhair fern that I'm going to throw in here. It's not going to take much. With this stem, you can literally just pull it out. You don't necessarily have to cut it. See? Now, this is very, very thin. This is not going to go into styrofoam, right? So what you can do is you can bend it over just like that right there. And you can put a floral pick and or, not and or, you can put a floral pick on it, or a still pick is what I was trying to say. See, this is very thin. I'm going to bend it over one more time. You can put a still pick on it, and then you can insert it. So I want to make sure that my elements appear to be natural. So I am going to twist them and give them some life. Right? And I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to collar this a little bit. And when I say collar, I mean really like the collar on a shirt. I'm going to come around and I'm going to throw some green in here. It just gives it a finished off look. Again, I'm going to bend it. Make sure it looks like it's a little bit more natural, like it's been in nature. I am inserting it straight down and then I'm bending my element down. I'm inserting that still pick straight in, but then I'm bending my maidenhair fern out and downward. So I can come in here and throw a little bit right here. Just like that right there. And I have one more I want to put right over here. Give it some life. Move it around and give it some life. Bend some life up. Okay, I think I'm done. I think I am done. There it is. But isn't that gorgeous? You can do it. It was very easy. Let's go over it one more time. I have a basket. I put some brown paper, like a grocery basket, brown paper basket, or you can use shipping paper. Put that in there, and the reason why I did was this is a brown basket. So you don't want to put anything that's kind of white looking or something like that. So I use brown paper. From here down is brown paper. From here up, I just put styrofoam in. Covered the top with some Spanish moss. Then with my Forsythia, I just started in the back with a taller, the tallest piece I wanted, and I literally just layered it down. And each time I went to the next layer, I put it in between the two layers that were behind it. And I just gradually brought it down. What do you think? Very easy, 3-loop bow, throw a little greenery in there, and we are done, right? All right, I'm glad. Thank you so much, Mary Kay. I appreciate it. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I certainly appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend. If you like this tutorial, liked what I show you, please like or share with somebody who loves floral design. I'd love to be able to help them. My heart is education. I love to teach the art of wreath making. So if you know somebody, just pass it on to them. All right, y'all, I think I'm going to jump off. Again, thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend. As always, please be blessed and always, always be a blessing to somebody else, okay? Y'all take care. See you soon. Bye.